This podcast is brought to you by Penji. Penji is a creative subscription service that gives you access to pre-vetted, agency-trained creatives from all over the world. From graphic design to illustrations to social media management and web development, it's all included for one monthly price. It's time to say goodbye to the hassle of searching for top-notch creative talent. With Penji, you get quality and consistency delivered right to your inbox every day, carefully crafted for you by humans. So meet your new creative team today. Head over to penji.co for more and enter the coupon code located within the podcast show notes.
Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome to the Fully Managed Podcast where we discuss marketing and business tips to help assist you on your business journey. I'm your host, Shannon, Penji's Partnership Coordinator, and I'm joined to you today with Kevin Roy from Green Banana SEO. Thank you so much for coming on with me today.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. So could you start by telling us a little bit about how you kind of got to this point, what inspired you to co-found Green Banana SEO, and kind of anything in between that you think is important?
So it's kind of like necessity. I've been doing this for a long time. This is year 17. And I bought my business partner out about a year and a half ago. But it was working for internet startup, and the company, I was the marketing person, and then I kind of got fortuitously pushed into the web department, and they let me take like coursework at MIT and paid for it. So it was really
Awesome.
great opportunity to be able to do that. And then the company got bought, and I was the last person left running the web. And they got bought by a huge company, so they didn't really need another web person. And they were handing out severance packages. I took a severance package, bought a computer with the money that they gave me, and then went to 3 people that I knew and said, I'll build you a website for free. Just do me a favor and don't tell anybody it was free. If you like it, tell people. If you don't like it, don't tell anybody. And so
That's some good sense.
that's what that, and then I did a lot of networking and just got us to, we've been on the Inc. 5000 3 times, and it's but a long road to that.
Well, that's an incredible journey. It's also really interesting to go from web design to SEO. I know that they're obviously involved, but how did you decide to center yourself around SEO?
Well, first we SEO is a huge component of what we do. It's a part of it. So we do full scale digital marketing. We run tons of Google ads. We run a lot of Meta. We run LinkedIn, TikTok, basically, geofencing, geo-targeting, almost anything on you see on a screen. The reason we got into SEO was when we started, we still do web dev, but when we started a business building websites, if you've ever done a website project, it never ends the day that you think it's going to end, because of, it's like building a house almost any project doesn't have a perfect timeline. So if you're doing a website for a company and you're working with the owner, and the owner has to answer another call, then skips your meeting, those things just happen. So we were having a lot of trouble paying the bills, not because we weren't getting enough business, because we weren't finishing the jobs on time for millions of reasons. And we couldn't predict when a job was going to finish. Even if a client wanted something done at a certain time, then they would take 3 weeks to approve the design. Next thing you know, the project's 3 weeks out. So we started to do SEO. And I started learning SEO and then got super into it. And to this day, I still spend probably 100 hours a year studying SEO for people that are smart.
That's interesting too, to get into another sector that also is unpredictable in a way for timeline purposes.
But it's individual. The great thing about if you're doing digital marketing for people is you get monthly checks, right? So, the only sense is like flipping houses. Doing SEO or digital marketing is like
forever.
lawn maintenance, right? You get a good contract, you do a good job, and you can stack those on to each other.
So when you started doing SEO, did you from the beginning do the pay for performance strategy, or is that something that you
No.
implemented later on?
When we started doing SEO, we did it like everybody else, which is time and materials. And we, all of the pay for performance SEO came at a meeting that I had years and years ago when we had a client that we'd done some web work with. They were a great client and they asked us to do SEO. So we did like the on-page development, some of the links, we did, like the map optimizations, like all the things that we were supposed to do for SEO. I spent all night working on this beautiful presentation and I brought it into a boardroom and I put it down at the table. Now, one of these people opened my presentation that I was super excited about, and owner of the company said, "So what are we paying you for again?" I was like, "You gotta be kidding me. You're paying me for all this SEO stuff that I'm doing." And I realized that they didn't understand anything that we were doing. They don't know what late semantic indexing. They don't know what metadata is. They think I'm just making stuff up. The only reason they didn't think I was making stuff up is because they trusted me already, but they didn't know what they were paying. So I said, "How about this? I get you on page one. I know I can rank you for these keyword phrases. If I rank you, you pay me. If I don't rank you, you don't pay me. But I'm never doing this thing again. I'm not doing another report, and I'm not coming in to talk about everything we did. If that works for you, great. If it doesn't, then let's continue on the path that we're on." They were like, "Great, let's do it." Left the office, walked into my business partner's office, when I got back, and that I did something really good, completely screwed up, and actually, and so that actually took off with pay for performance. And the only difference between pay for performance and regular SEO is literally like, we charge you if we rank you for the keywords that you pick. And if we rank you, you pay. If we don't rank you, don't. We still have to do all the stuff that we did before for SEO, because you have to follow the rules. You have to write the content, you have interlinking, you have to make sure the site's not banged up, you have to do good external links. And with the pay for performance, we just report the ranks with, we don't spend any time telling the client what we're doing. It's not because we don't want to, it's because we priced it in such a way that we're going to get you ranked. We're going to do all the work internally. If we rank, you pay. If we don't rank, you don't pay. If we do something like, we can't do any shady stuff. Like, if anyone knows what Black Hat is, if we do Black Hat stuff and you lose your rankings, we can't collect paychecks. So we can't do that. We do have 20% of our clients now want daily report, or not, they want weekly reports. They want to meet with us on a regular basis. So those people, we don't do pay.
Okay. So it's like kind of an exceptional thing.
Yeah. So we do pay for performance is our largest base. Most people do that, but our larger clients, like we have some Fortune 500 clients, they think pay for performance is kitschy. They want to see the pretty report. They want to talk about, our press release link building strategy. And so we do the same thing, but we're doing a lot more FaceTime with the client.
That makes a lot of sense. It's nice to offer that because it shows confidence in your work, and I think that people are more likely to trust you. But it's also nice to offer both avenues because you still have all this data that you can update them with. It's just that, people don't care most of the time. And as long as they're seeing results.
Yeah. Most small local businesses don't care. All they have to worry about is getting ranked for the stuff that they want and make sure that you're not doing shady stuff. And then pay for performance kind of covers both. So you don't care.
What do you think is the most difficult field or like kind of subject for SEO specifically? Like, do you think that there's a
That's a
specific
great question.
Yeah, I always, this is my curiosity question because I always wonder what people think because I know they're always different.
It's the keyword. So it's not really, I wouldn't say it's the industry, it's the keywords, right?
Yeah.
So, imagine if you, so like we have biotech clients. So if you want to rank for T7 DNA ligase, there's not a lot of competition out there, right? There's still competitors, but it's not like ranking dating. So that's a completely someone has a brand new site and they want to rank for like auto insurance, like good Lord, like think of how much content and all the people that you're going up against, but not just the company size, it's the keyword. And one of my favorite examples is like Moby Dick. So Moby Dick, imagine if you wanted to rank page 1, number 1 for Moby Dick. That's not really competitive in terms of business. People aren't flying around trying to sell Moby Dick books, but there's millions and millions and millions of articles written about it, right? Movies about it. There's like IMDb, there's, Amazon, there's all the content on that book. It'd be really hard to rank for that because you have to make your page more relevant and have more relevant links to that than everybody else. So it's not just the industry, it's more the keyword.
No, that's definitely a good point because I think that a lot of people will say something like where an agency would niche in order to like say like the legal industry. Something that's like a lot of responses that I get, but I like
Yeah.
that you kind of twisted it in a way that is specific to like a specific part of SEO, which like a lot of people don't answer in that way. So I actually enjoy that because that's something that I get to learn. So thank you.
Yeah. It's something it's definitely something to look at. Like look at when you Google something, look at amount of returns that come for that keyword. And that can be super helpful.
Do you ever get a client that comes to you looking to rank for a keyword, but you have experience with clients in that field that you know that probably won't gain them traffic?
And then there's a couple solutions for that. So if a client comes to us with a keyword that they really want to rank for that doesn't get a lot of traffic, the first thing we're going to ask them is, why do you want to rank for this keyword? Now, I don't know where you live, but we live in the Northeast, and we have a client that does heated driveways.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
That's really interesting.
So it's insanely expensive to build and insanely expensive every time there's a snowstorm. So there's not a lot of people that have heated driveways. You can imagine the search volume is super low, but we have a client ranks for it, but all they care about it, they get one job every 2 years. It's like $300,000 for a job, and they're not paying a lot to get that keyword ranked because it's really easy to rank. But if someone comes in and says, I want, light, pink shingles in Topeka, Kansas, and I think I'm going to make a fortune off of it, we'll be like, all right, you might not want to pick that keyword. But another thing that you can do that we work with clients a lot, some clients come to us and say, I really want to rank, like, I want to do an SEO project with you. I'm not sure what keyword phrases that I want to commit to. And we say, let's do a Google AdWords program, because I can get you on page 1 tomorrow in Google Ads. Page 1, number 1 in Google Ads. If you outbid everybody else, you can rank guaranteed in Google AdWords. If that keyword drives you business, then it's a good keyword to optimize. If that keyword can get you anything, it's probably not a good keyword for you. So we talk to people a lot about using AdWords as a great discovery to try to see whether SEO for certain keywords is going to work or not.
That's really helpful because if someone does come to you with a keyword that you don't think will rank, you can kind of show them evidence of why you feel that it won't, or why you feel that it won't like bring them traffic.
Right. And you're doing, like, you're going through the process together, and you're saying to the client, hey, I don't want to just rank you for some garbage that you're going to have to pay me for, and feel bad about it. Like, let's help your business succeed. And honestly, that's the whole, like, as we've been doing this for longer and longer, the best thing to do is to get a client that's going to work with you and you help that client succeed because they grow into bigger clients. Getting someone trapped in an SEO campaign that they don't want to get, that they're unsure about in the beginning, it's going to be a crappy relationship.
Yeah.
It's no fun for your employees. It's no fun for you, no fun for them. Better to just find stuff that works. And sometimes you have to try things like Google Ads to figure that out.
Yeah, well, it's honorable that you're willing to do that with them rather than just go with what they're asking for, because a lot of people don't know anything about SEO and they just think, oh, like this will work because this is what I want, or this makes sense to me, and it just does not make sense. And you have the, they're coming to you because they want to know more, but they probably, a lot of people are hesitant, or they
Yeah.
don't trust people, or so it's nice to be able to see the evidence, but also you don't want to take advantage of the fact that they don't know as much.
And honestly, if anyone listening, like if anyone that does SEO or digital marketing, the people that hire you don't know how to do it. That's why they're hiring you. So they don't know what it is anyways. So it's really important to give them as much information that will make them comfortable and give them as many options that will do that. And that's how it will grow. Like the best client are the clients we have the best relationships with. So, and those are the ones that those campaigns surprisingly work better than anything else because they're giving us as much feedback as we're giving.
That's beautiful. And it's like the more trust and transparency that I feel like an agency has with a client, both ways too, because I know that there's a lot of times where a client may not give enough information to an agency that is supposed to be helping them. And sometimes that can be at a detriment to the campaign or whatever they may be doing. But it's nice to be able to have the environment where that is possible. And you're
Yeah.
doing as many things as possible in order to make sure that that is how it's working out.
And I think to your point, I think it's super important that the client you're getting into a partnership with someone.
Yeah.
So if you want to succeed together, it's kind of like going to your doctor and lying about the symptoms. They're not going to be able to help you. He felt that
Yeah.
this is the problem I'm having. You make
It's exactly like that. When you're going to someone for help, you should give them all the
Yeah.
necessary factors that contribute to them being able to help you. And I think
Yeah.
that's something that a lot of businesses come to for help, and they're like a little embarrassed of certain things, I think, almost. And I do see that, like with I've talked to someone that owns I could go back to this, but the legal agency, where they specifically there's a lot of data that sometimes like they get clients that aren't providing for them, and they realize they're doing these campaigns and they're not getting the results that they want, but there's factors that they're not considering because they're not being told them. And I think
Right, yeah.
that's you're asking for help. You have to be a little vulnerable in the idea that you're like being transparent about these things. And I think that sometimes
agree.
it's hard. So we can't help you if we don't know all the information.
I couldn't agree more.
So switching gears a little bit, topical thing. I was wondering, one, if, which I'm assuming yes, if you use AI in your work or in your agency, and how much you use it and what things you use it for. Because
I use it all the time. I think when AI first came out, I got on a call with all the employees here, and I said, "You need to embrace. If you don't, it's going to end up replacing some of us or all of us. So use it to your advantage." So we use it a lot we definitely use it for SEO copywriting, but you can't cut and paste it.
of course.
The myth of Google being able to detect that. Oh, Sammy's here. My dog.
Don't worry.
Oh no, now she changed her mind. Come on, Sam. Come here, honey. Oh, Google can't detect it. That's a myth. Humans can detect it. If you've ever read AI content, when you're reading AI content. But I think it does. I think it makes a great construct. So if I said to you, "Hey, Shannon, I need you to give me 2,500 words by the end of tomorrow," a paper 2 years ago, you couldn't physically do that. Now you can, and then you can just edit it and make changes. You can probably spend 4 or 5 hours on it, but normally it would have taken you 16, 17 hours to do that. Right. So we do that. I use it personally for analyzing Google Analytics data. So I'll pull like 30 pages of conversion optimization data from a client's Google Analytics and say, go find me the best pieces in here. And it will go through all that data and find it. One thing I did for a client, they had a bunch of bad Amazon reviews and they had like a 2.5 star, and they said, what do we need to do to get to 4 stars? And I literally just took the screenshot of the Amazon cart, threw it in the chat and said, how many 5-star reviews do they need to get to 4 stars? And it was like 721, and which is a lot. But they're like,
This is a lot.
They're like, how'd you figure it out that fast? And they're like, this guy's a genius on the months. And then like 2 days later was like, someone just did the math and Kevin was right. No, I just used
Yeah, AI was right, actually.
yeah, it's
Like,
amazing. Like,
it's
so,
an incredible
so
tool.
one of the things that I did, I'm on the board of directors at the local Y, and they're old school. So the board of directors has intermittent meetings throughout the year, and they give you a PowerPoint presentation that they printed out with all the dates and times that you're supposed to go. And I'm like, oh man, I got to go through this whole thing and flip a page and go into my calendar and type it in. I scanned it put it in the chat and said, go through all the times that Kevin Roy has mentioned and create a calendar clickable like execution that I can put it into my Google Calendar. And it did it. I literally clicked a button and yeah, seriously.
That's incredible. I
So,
love learning about
yeah.
all the new things that you can
Yeah.
do with it too.
So I love running stuff like that. Like I have so much fun with chat.
My favorite thing that I've discovered about it is the idea of you putting in the ingredients that you have in your kitchen and it making a meal for you, or like
Ooh.
making a recipe, which is really awesome because I hate wasting things in my kitchen, and a lot of times I end up with like 2 carrots and like half an onion and like random things that I didn't use in a recipe. You can put them in to ChatGPT and it'll make a recipe for you. That like I love that, and that was my favorite thing that I learned about it recently, because I think I was definitely
What a
one of those
great
people,
idea.
right? It's incredible. So if
Yeah.
you ever need that, that's my favorite thing
Yeah.
that I've
I'm
learned
definitely
about it.
scaling that. Yep.
It's such a cool thing. And it's one of my favorite things because I was definitely one of those people that was very hesitant about it at first, because it's not because I was afraid of it stealing my job or anything like that. I think that's a, you can always use it as a helpful tool, but I think something that I worry about constantly is not using my brain enough. So I'm
Yeah.
constantly, I want to be able to, use it as much as possible so that I'm not getting rusty in there. And I was always worried that I would become too reliant on it, but I don't think that's the case. I do think it's a tool at this point, and maybe down the line it might, but it's not replacing.
Right. At this point,
Yeah, at
no
this
one
point,
knows what
what's
happened
in
with it,
store. But
right.
yeah, it's not replacing almost anything, but it is very helpful in using it. Like the equivalent of, someone gave me this analogy the other day, which I really liked, was contractors, screwdrivers coming, and not screwdrivers coming, drills coming out, and and they're working so much faster instead of just using a handheld tool that is I feel like that's the equivalent of it. It's that it helps do the tedious things faster.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a perfect analogy. Like think like the Google Analytics documents. I could have done that, but it was 30 pages of data. It would have taken me a week to get that, and I probably would have made a mistake because I'm tired.
Oh, exactly. I built my bed for 3 straight years using a screwdriver and not a drill. And then I got a drill and I was like, oh my God, I just built my
Like,
bed in 5
My
minutes.
wrist, my wrist hurt.
That's
Start shattering.
It's the same thing. It's when I heard this podcast and I was still hesitant about using ChatGPT as much. I was writing descriptions, like 3 points from the podcast for the podcast descriptions myself. I was going back through every 30-minute video and writing these. And my boss was like, "Why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Just put in the transcript to ChatGPT and then just read it over and edit it if it's not grammatically
Yep.
correct or it doesn't make sense." I'm like, "Oh my God. The game
Great.
changer, do it in less than
Super game changer.
It's such a beautiful thing." So I think, yeah, I agree that people should embrace it. And I think that, the fears of it replacing people are not here if it is something on the horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we'll just keep that in our back pocket.
Yeah.
So I have a fun little segment. I forgot to warn you about this, so I hope it's okay.
Sure.
I like to do a little game at the end of the podcast. We do a little, it's would you rather, which kind of involves marketing, but then there's also some absurd questions that I mixed in there because I think they're fun. Will keep you on your toes.
Go.
Cool. Okay. First thing, this was maybe a little fun. I'll do toes in the water. This will tip them in slowly. Okay. Would you rather work for Apple, Google, or Microsoft?
Ooh. Really good question. Google.
Why?
I think they would be a little bit more progressive. I think Apple, my first gut was Apple, but I think Apple is I have a feeling it's so compartmentalized and rigid. It would have been fun in the 70s or 80s, and now it wouldn't be as fun anymore. Microsoft, because they do chat, would be good, but I think that's the division. I think Google has all these cool things that you don't have to just work for Google search. You can, they have some pretty cool projects that they allow their employees to go do and spearhead on their own.
I think that's a really good point. I do think that Google gives off that aura of progressiveness than these other two. And I think that also, even the work environment seems really nice. And maybe that's just what they're projecting. And maybe it's not. But
they have sleep pods, but no one ever sleeps in them, probably, right?
yeah, I'm sure. Or maybe,
you see that on your birthday.
Yeah, or you think about it and you're like, why do they need sleep pod? Like, oh, because they're probably working the bone and they're not going home.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, it's like the sleep pods in Japan that are super common as hotels. I'm like, oh, okay, that seems like there's a bigger problem. It seems nice. Vending machine bed.
Right.
Very interesting. Okay. Now here's a really weird one. How many eggs do you think that you can eat in a waking day?
I could probably eat 12 eggs.
Okay, that's not that bad. I love getting I love getting the answers that are like, oh, okay, yeah, I've gotten 80.
No, that's gross. I don't think
that's gross, and I think you might die. I think you would die. Not even throw up. I think you would die. Just kill
you might die from that.
12 is reasonable.
Yeah, it's reasonable. It's a conservative number, I think. Right.
Okay, so if you could pick one in a scenario which you can only do one, would you rather make your client happy or your staff?
Ooh. Staff happy. Easy.
This one, I think there's a right answer.
Hey.
Say that in case someone answers the former. But yeah, I think that if you are in a scenario where there's one or the other is the only option, then I feel like the client is probably not for the company.
I have fired clients in the past. I've been disrespectful to the employees, really disrespectful, and belligerent and hard, even though they were big clients. And it was a really hard thing for me to do. Because as the CBO, you're always looking at the revenue. It was probably the best thing I did.
That's really nice. And I really appreciate that sentiment because if I was running a company, I would do the same thing. I don't think that, the company is the employees. And if you're letting them be disrespected, then what does that say about you, you know?
And this is someone told me that this, I know I'm gonna beat up the interpretation of it or the translation of it, but when someone is working, I don't like to say that people are working for me. I like to say that they're working with me. They're giving up a significant portion of their life, and that's something you have to think about. Like that, it's a sucky thing to have to come into work every day and have someone yell at you and get.
It is, unless you're getting paid a lot, and that might still suck.
It'll still wear you down. It counts.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I've been in jobs where I've been yelled at. Most of them pizzerias. They yell a lot. Pizzerias. They yell
I
so
think
much.
everybody should work in the food service industry.
100%. I think that should be a requirement for everyone that is in the
Everybody.
workforce. I think that it makes you have better manners and understand the levels of a restaurant. Everyone goes to restaurants. Everyone goes to, if they don't go to restaurants, they go to fast food, they do something. Everyone interacts with the restaurant world, and I think that everyone should have to be in it. So it made me so much more patient as a person, like kind, respectful. It's so, and understand the process of what they do. Like, it's usually not the person you're talking to's fault. It's almost never their fault.
I used to be friends with a guy. When we went out to dinner, he would more often than not complain to the wait staff, and I stopped hanging out with him because I was like,
I don't like you.
Do this. Like, I can't hang out with a person that's this much of a jerk to you.
I will not reveal this person, but a family member of mine never tips, but I have to go out to eat with them. So I always bring money with me to tip on top of the bill because I know that they won't. And that is, it's complicated. I'm not revealing more by saying why I have to go out to dinner.
Yeah, that's okay. Bro.
Yes. So yeah, I think that's so important. And yeah, I would not. I think that that shows a lot about a person. Or that they just don't understand it because, of course, like when I was
They don't get it.
13 and being dropped off at the mall and going to a restaurant in the mall, I didn't know that I had tipped. I had no idea because no one told me. But then I started working like a year later. I realized, oh my God, I can't believe I didn't tip that woman for however long I've been going to the mall as a teenager. But yeah, no, I 100% agree. Okay, I'll ask something relevant for our last question so that we're not ending on the restaurant note. But that's an important lesson for all working people. Anyway, okay, maybe this might be going back to your roots, but LinkedIn or email outreach, what do you think is most effective?
Oh, I would say email, only because I feel like I get super hyper targeted in LinkedIn, and I may switch my opinion on that because I know I get a ton of spam, but like I get, are you interested in leads, buying leads? Every like everyone on LinkedIn is selling leads to me apparently.
Yeah. No, I'm a little guy and I get spam a lot. Like, I can't imagine like being the CEO of a company and how much spam you get.
Everybody gets spam.
Part
of living on the internet.
Yep. Yeah, that's the worry about the podcast when people are like, this is a free press opportunity. This is real and you're not lying.
I would like you just have to pay $1,700.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm sorry that people have done this to you before, but I promise it's hard to convince people sometimes because no one really does.
It's true. Yeah.
Well, we are out of time, unfortunately, but I really appreciate you coming on with me today. I had good laughs, I learned things, and that's all I want from the podcast. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I even got to see your dog, so that was even better.
She's asleep on the couch. She's not on the couch now. She's
Well, what a beautiful day to have. Thank you so much again, and for everyone listening, please don't forget to like and subscribe to get to learn things from this podcast just like I do every time. Thank you so much.
You've been listening to Fully Managed, brought to you by Penji. Check out the show notes to learn more about today's guest, and to learn more about Penji, the human-first creative subscription service, head over to penji.co. And by the way, if you're still listening, it would mean the absolute world to us if you were to share this podcast with a friend, and of course, subscribe.